Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're working with adjectives again, but this time you're going to be thinking of your own adjectives. The directions on page 40, our assignment for today, April the 7th, is to think of your own adjectives and to write a story about Fluffy the cat. Now remember what an adjective does. An adjective describes the noun in the sentence. And remember that a noun is a person, place, thing, or animal. So let's first identify the noun in each sentence and then think of a word that could describe that noun. Number one, Fluffy is a blank cat. So we know that the noun that we want to describe is the cat. And I bet you can think of a lot of different adjectives that could describe a cat. And remember, color words are adjectives, but don't just use all color words. Let's think of different ones and a variety of them. Number two says the color of his fur is blank. There it definitely tells us to think of a color because that's what it says in the sentence. So in that sentence, you will for sure use a color word. Number three says he likes to chew on my blank shoes. So we're going to be thinking of a word that would describe your shoes. And again, I would encourage you to try to think of something maybe to describe what it feels like or what it looks like, not necessarily the color of them. And that is a good way to think of some adjectives is what I was just doing. I was going through my five senses. I was thinking of what I can see, what I can feel, what you could even think of what maybe those shoes smell like. You could think of, I don't know, yeah, I guess you could think of what they sound like. I know sometimes when we walk in from the pod to the inside of the building, we have to remind you about keeping your shoes quiet. So you could think of even what they might sound like. So go through your five senses of your sight and your hearing and your feeling and your smell. Now, I don't think that you've ever tasted your shoes, so that probably wouldn't be a good sense to use to come up with a describing word for shoes, but you can for the next sentence. Let's look at number four. He likes to eat blank cat food. So there, you probably haven't tasted cat food, or at least I hope you haven't, but you know that what your cat, let's imagine what your cat might say about the cat food. And again, it doesn't have to be what it tastes like. You can think about what it actually feels like or sounds like when they do eat it. And then finally, number five says, I like Fluffy because he is so blank. So you're going to, again, think of another adjective that would describe Fluffy. And Fluffy is a cat. We'll come back on the next video and check. Actually, we can't check it because everybody came up with their own. But I'll give you some ideas of some adjectives that I filled my sentences in with. And then another extension would be to just add on to those sentences or rewrite them into a paragraph and come up with some additional sentences. And then finally, another extension idea would be for you to take those adjectives that you came up with and see if you can think of a synonym. A synonym means a word that means almost the same thing as the word that you came up with and make it an even better sentence. Your parents can help you look online for some synonyms for the words that you came up with. So like if I come up with the word nice, look and see if you can't find an even better word that would describe the word nice, a more exciting word. Sometimes we overuse adjectives and we can come up with some words that mean about the same thing, but words that we don't use so frequently.